Hardly the best choice of mood music, you idiot. The evocative first lines of Sound of Silence had seemed appropriate when it came up on her playlist, but as Dani Sango pulled into the driveway, a thick blanket of melancholy threatened to smother her. She put her 14-year-old Kia Sorento in park, clicked out of her phone's music app, and unplugged the device from the charger. Cutting the power to the engine, she patted the dashboard. Thanks, old girl. She stared at the tasteless brown ranch-style house, its only distinguishing feature the bright red door flanked by ornate sidelights. The house sat on a pretty tree-dotted lot. Some distance down the street stood a quaint commercial garage with vintage-style gas pumps and signage. Parked near the road, 2 restored classic cars straight out of the movie Grease, both in cherry condition, sported primo paint jobs. Between them stood a sign, Joie Rides Restoration and Custom Detailing. Behind the quaint building stood a much larger structure with numerous garage bays. Dani sighed. Enough stalling. She dropped her phone in her tiny purse, extracted the key labeled House from the manila envelope she'd been given, and stepped out of the car into the sweltering June heat. Draping her purse across her body, she pocketed her car keys and walked to the door. Her hand shook as she fumbled and failed to insert the house key. Get a hold of yourself, girl. She blew out a breath and, this time, accomplished the task. Dani swallowed and pushed her way into the nondescript living room. A broken-down couch with a mismatched coffee table and end table sat on one side of the room. On the other, a small entertainment center of no particular style held a flat-screen television. A worn leather chair and a floor lamp finished off the sparse furnishings. Yet the walls were filled with pieces of artwork in varying styles and sizes, all framed canvases. A shrill beep cut the silence. She followed the sound to a landline phone and answering machine combo on the kitchen counter. Who in the world still used an answering machine? Or a landline phone, for that matter? The ancient machine registered 14 messages. After glancing around as if expecting someone to challenge her, she punched the play button. The recordings ranged from robocalls about extended car warranties to automated reminders about prescriptions, and several hang-ups. She listened with only half an ear until a pleasant male voice came across the line, his charming southern accent snagging her attention. Hello, Mr. Franklin. Dani drew back in confusion. Mr. Franklin? This is Brad Osgood of the Andrews Museum. I'm sorry I haven't reached out sooner. I was out for a few weeks dealing with... An awkward silence lingered. Vacation. The man cleared his throat. Anyway, I'd be very interested in speaking with you about the pieces you mentioned in your email. Please give me a call at your convenience. He finished the message with his phone number. Dani hit the replay button while reaching for a nearby pad of sticky notes and a pen. In the process, she knocked over a file folder wedged between the wall and the answering machine, and photocopies and lined notebook papers with dark chicken scratch writing scattered. She huffed. Why was she even bothering to write this down? Not like Mr. Franklin could call this person back. Her throat grew thick, and she cleared it as the message replayed. Brad Osgood, Andrews Museum, calling about pieces, Mr. Franklin, mentioned in email. She replayed the message once more and jotted the 727 area code number. St. Petersburg? Interesting. Just an hour from her Tampa area apartment. The message's timestamp said 5 days ago. With a sigh, she gathered the scattered papers from the fallen file. Straightening them, she found bajillions of handwritten scribbles,